Hi there, I'm Mike Hall. Welcome to our Big Ten Network studios in Chicago. We got a football preview for you with Maryland. Get an update on their star young QB. How can he be this upcoming season? But we start things off with Ohio State, the #1 team in the country in the preseason poll, and they are our big story today. They were the #1 team for basically all of last year's regular season, but they start the year before game one, #1 for the first time in 11 seasons. Got a brand new offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, who comes from the NFL. A lot of production returns, including the two players grabbing the most headlines, Heisman finalists that return in the star QB and the star wide receiver. Earlier this week, we found out that Julian Sayin is getting better. 11 Warriors telling us we're told that he's making unbelievable jaw-dropping throws. He's bigger, he's smarter, he's more vocal. Literally every aspect of his game has improved, which is good for Buckeye fans. We bring in Dan Hope from 11 Warriors to talk everything scarlet and gray. And Dan, there's so much to be excited about if you're a Buckeye fan. They're the #1 team in the preseason. They have Heisman finalists that are coming back. But let me start with this. If you're a diehard Buckeye fan, what is the thing that is concerning you the most about this upcoming season?
Well, I think for me, it's not so much one position group as it is just the fact that, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you were replacing so much talent from last year. Ohio State, second year in a row that the Buckeyes are replacing 8 starters on the defensive side of the ball. And last year, you at least knew you had a guy like Caleb Downs, who was an established superstar, a guy that you knew you could count on to be the star of that defense. This year, I think you have a lot of good players on defense, but who's going to be that great player on the defensive side of the ball? I don't think we know for sure who that's going to be yet. Obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, there's Julian Sayin, there's Jeremiah Smith. But I think outside of those two players, Ohio State has a lot of good players. It's who are going to be those great players around them that can elevate this team to a championship level, to a team that can win the many tough games that it has on its schedule.
Well, that's where I was thinking might be a biggest concern for a Buckeye fan is that schedule. You've got, based on preseason AP rankings, away game #5 Texas, away game #6 Indiana, home game #2 Oregon, 3 other preseason top 25 ranked teams. That's a brutal run.
Yeah, and I mean, Ohio State the last couple years has benefited, although I don't know if it necessarily was a benefit to them going into the postseason last year, but have not had a lot of tough games during the regular season. This year, that's certainly not going to be the case. In my opinion, it's the toughest schedule in the country. When you just mentioned it, 3 other teams in the top 6. I don't think there's any other team in the country who has that on their schedule. And those games you mentioned, 6 ranked opponents, 4 of them are on the road. They also play Nebraska on the road. It's actually going to be the second most miles that Ohio State's ever had to travel from home during the regular season. And so this is not a schedule that's going to let up very much for Ohio State. You've obviously got a couple early, easier games early in the season against Ball State and Kent State, with Texas sandwiched in between there. But once you get into Big Ten play, there's not going to be many respites for this team. And so, you think about, what it takes to make the college football playoff. You may get 1 or 2 mulligans, but you cannot have many weeks where you don't play your best football if you're this Ohio State team, if you're going to give yourself a chance to go win a championship.
They'll need consistently great performance from so many players. But as you mentioned earlier, perhaps none more important than the quarterback, Julian Sayin. He was very good last year, Heisman finalist, obviously. If you were nitpicking, the average distance passing wasn't that amazing for him. Give me an area that the staff or he himself are saying they want to work on, where they want him to be better this year than he was last year.
Well, the big one we've heard about all offseason is his ability to use his legs to make plays, to be able to be a factor in the running game, because that's really not something we saw much from Julian Sayin last year. And you just look at modern college football, it's something you have to be able to do. Now, no one's expecting him to be Justin Fields, but, even a guy like Carson Beck last year, not someone who had many rushing yards on the stat sheet, but we saw it when Miami beat Ohio State. He was able to pick up those key third downs, and they needed him to make a play with his legs. He was able to do so. That's where Julian Sayin needs to get to this year. Not someone who you're going to have run the ball 15 times a game, but someone who, when there's that open space in front of him to go run and get a first down, he goes and gets it. Someone where at least the defense has to take seriously his threat to be able to use his legs to make a play. Because when you look at Ryan Day's offenses over the years, whether it was with Justin Fields or Will Howard, his best offenses have been when the quarterback poses some running threat.
And he's always going to have options catching the ball. Ohio State has turned into a wide receiver factory. And I could ask you about Jeremiah Smith, but we're going to talk about him every single interview for the rest of the fall. So let's take a break on that. Let me ask you about the next biggest threat as a pass catcher. Is it the young Chris Henry? Is it one of the transfer wide receivers? Is it maybe a tight end? Who do you think is going to be the second most targeted guy on this team?
The guy who's really emerged here in preseason camp has been Devin McEwen, transfer from UTSA. Has had a really good camp so far. Someone who had a lot of production at UTSA over 3 years. Now, making that jump from the group of 5 level up to the Big Ten, you never know exactly how that's going to translate. But this is someone who has a lot of speed, has shown that ability to make plays after the catch, which has been a big point of emphasis for Cortez Hankton coming in his first year as Ohio State's wide receivers coach. They're looking for guys to make more plays after they get the ball in their hands. Devin McEwen is someone who they think can do that. I don't know that this is going to be as clear of a wide receiver 2 situation as we saw last year with Carnell Tate, or as we've seen in many recent years. Certainly, Chris Henry Jr. is going to be a factor. Brandon Inniss is going to be someone who's going to continue to play a significant role in this offense. Brock Boyd is another freshman who's gotten some hype. So I do think we're going to see a little more rotation at receiver this year than maybe we did under Brian Hartline. But right now, I would pick Devin McEwen to be that number 2 guy for Ohio State at receiver this year.
And the run that Brian Hartline had as a wide receivers coach was just incredible. I mean, first and foremost, the recruiting he was able to do. He brought in 2 or 3 top 10 wide receivers out of high school across the country every single year. But then he would help develop them as well. How big of a loss is it going to be no longer having him on the staff?
I mean, it's obviously a loss because, like you said, just the consistent ability that he had to recruit and develop elite receivers year in and year out. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a run, let alone at Ohio State in college football at all, to be as consistent developing first-round NFL draft pick wide receivers year in and year out. With that being said, we've heard lots of good things about Cortez Hankton so far. We've already seen him land a commitment from Jet Harrison, a top 5 overall prospect, and of course the younger brother of Marvin Harrison Jr. in the 2028 class. And so while it is a big loss, I also think Ohio State's going to be just fine. I think that receiver reputation that they built up with the likes of Jackson Smith and Jigba and Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and Terry McLaurin and of course Jeremiah Smith, Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Buka. That reputation's not going anywhere, and so I think Ohio State is still going to continue to be a top destination for wide receivers around the country.
Last thing for you, Ryan Day is moving Senior Day celebration earlier up to the season opener instead of the end of the season against Michigan, trying to avoid distractions for that game. How's that being received around town?
Yeah, I think it's surprised people. It's certainly not something that's conventional to see it be moved all the way up to the start of the season. I think it does take some of the meaning away from it because, when you have it at the end of the year, it's like this is the last time these guys are going to run onto the field. You think about this year's Senior Day with all the guys who come in through the transfer portal, there's going to be a lot of guys going through Senior Day before they ever play a game as a Buckeye. So it's going to be different, but at the same time, Ryan Day's made it clear with some of the moves that he's made here in recent years. When it comes to that last week of a regular season and playing Michigan, he wants to keep the routine. He wants all the focus to be on just winning that football game. And he said he surveyed the seniors on the team. They were all on board with this idea of moving it up to the start of a season. So I think it's one of those things that's going to be a little weird in the moment. But ultimately, what people are going to care about at the end of November is, does Ohio State beat Michigan?
Dan Hope, 11 Warriors. Great insight, man. Enjoy this season. Should be an exciting one.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me.